So, we've got Yu Jong, a super popular news anchor and star instructor at the TV station. She's smart, successful, and seems to have it all together. Through some connections at work, she gets introduced to a businessman named Sian Hui. He's smooth, charming, seemingly a total gentleman, and claims to be a huge fan of hers. They end up at a small get-together, and things take a dark turn. Under the guise of being a respectful fan, Sian Hui secretly slips a libido-enhancing drug into Yu Jong's drink. She has absolutely no idea. The night progresses, and Yu Jong suddenly finds herself in a compromising position, hurriedly getting dressed. She glances at her phone and sees a ton of missed calls from her husband. She's horrified and wants to pretend like nothing happened. But Sian Hui has other plans. He's a manipulative monster. He sends her an intimate photo of the two of them, a picture he took without her consent while she was under the influence of the drug. He uses this photo as blackmail, threatening to ruin her reputation and her marriage if she doesn't comply with his demands. And what are his demands? He wants her to become the face of his shady cryptocurrency. He wants her endorsement to make him even richer. He's using her to legitimize his scam. But it doesn't stop there. This guy is truly despicable. He tries to force her into a threesome with him and some of his buddies. What he doesn't realize is that Yu Jong has a secret weapon. Her younger brother, Gang Soo. And Gang Soo is not someone you want to mess with. This guy is fiercely protective of his sister, and he has a dark past. When they were kids, their mother was brutally abused, leading to her death. And it was Gang Soo who hunted down and tortured her abuser to exact revenge. He's seen things, he's done things, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty to protect the people he loves. So, what happens when Sian Hui crosses the line and targets Gang Soo's sister? Let's just say things are about to get very, very ugly. Let's rewind a bit and get some context. Remember Gang Soo? He's not just sitting around. He's got a plan of his own brewing. For days, he's been staking out a target with a friend, patiently waiting for the right moment. We're talking sleeping in a car, taking shifts, the whole 9 yards. And then, bam, the target appears. Gang Soo jumps out and knocks the guy unconscious with a club. When the man wakes up, he's tied up in a dark, secret room. Gang Soo slowly approaches him, his voice ice cold. "Do you remember me?" he asks. The man is terrified and nods frantically. He knows exactly who Gang Soo is. He's the one indirectly responsible for their mother's death. He's a monster from Gang Soo's past. He begs for his life, but Gang Soo is merciless. He unleashes years of pent-up rage and hatred on the old man. After getting his revenge, Gang Soo goes back to the bar he owns, acting like nothing happened. Back at the bar, some guys are trying to pressure a girl into drinking against her will. Her friend steps in and objects, but the men won't back down. That's when Gang Soo intervenes. He stares the guys down, and his presence alone is enough to scare them off. He even helps the girls get a taxi to ensure they get home safely. Meanwhile, back at the get-together, the night is ending. Sian Hui, playing the devoted admirer, offers to drive Yu Jong home. On the way home, Yu Jong has a chance encounter with her brother, Gang Soo. But here's the thing. He completely ignores her. He walks right past her like she's a total stranger, without a single word. Sian Hui drops Yu Jong off right at her door. And wouldn't you know it, they run into a guy who's been harassing Yu Jong for a while. Sian Hui, playing the hero, immediately steps in. He orders his driver to get rid of the guy and promises Yu Jong that the harasser will never bother her again. This smooth move and show of strength definitely makes Yu Jong feel a little something for him. She's starting to fall for his act. The next morning, Yu Jong is looking at a scar on her wrist, and the memories flood back. Years ago, when the cops came to arrest the man who indirectly caused her mother's death, Gang Soo couldn't stand the thought of him living. He was about to stab the guy with a knife. Yu Jong jumped in to stop her brother, and that's how she got that nasty scar on her wrist. She risked her own safety to protect a monster and prevent her brother from becoming a murderer. Now let's get inside Gang Soo's head. He's also thinking about the past. He remembers catching his sister being beaten by her fiancé. To protect her reputation and save her from humiliation, he didn't intervene at that moment. Instead, he secretly tracked down the fiancé later and beat the crap out of him. The beating was so bad that he got arrested. Gang Soo was a promising athlete, about to be chosen for the national team. But that one moment of uncontrolled rage cost him everything. His future, his career, and his biggest dream. Okay, time for a huge reveal. Remember how Sian Hui told Yu Jong that he was in the imported high-end fashion business? Yeah, that's a lie. The truth is, Sian Hui is the head of a ruthless organized crime syndicate. He's involved in loan sharking, protection rackets, and all sorts of illegal activities. He's got a crew of thugs working for him, and they look nothing like the refined, sophisticated image he portrays to Yu Jong. And Yu Jong has no idea. She even calls Sian Hui to thank him for the designer outfit he gave her. Sian Hui is getting way too close for comfort, but what is he really after? Is it just about the cryptocurrency scheme? Or is there something more sinister going on? Meanwhile, one of Xian Hui's trusted lieutenants, a guy with a distinctive mustache, secretly approaches UJ, the number 2 in the organization. He gets right to the point. Do you really trust Xian Hui? There's an unspoken rule in the organization. When the number 2 has been around for a while, they should be allowed to branch out and start their own business. But Xian Hui seems reluctant to let UJ go. When UJ doesn't respond, the lieutenant brings up something from the past. Remember that company that was about to go public? I suggested you invest 10 billion won. If you'd listened to me, you would have made 5 times your money by now. UJ starts to frown, thinking about what could have been. The lieutenant sees his opportunity and pushes harder. There's another big opportunity now. Convertible bonds from a company about to go public. If you invest, you'll make at least 6 to 10 times your money. Mustache's words make UJ waver. UJ finally decides to confront Xian Hui and ask for permission to start his own business. He suggests taking over the imported medical equipment division. But Xian Hui shuts him down, saying that the division is just starting, that he has some things to figure out, and that UJ should wait a little longer. He's clearly stalling. Is he afraid of UJ becoming too powerful? Now let's shift to Gangsu. Ever since he found that little kitten in the alley, he's been taking care of it, feeding it, and even bringing it to work with him. One night, Gangsu is delivering goods, and he's got the kitten tucked inside his jacket. But someone bumps into him and the kitten falls out. Gangsu immediately puts down the delivery and frantically starts searching for the cat. Finally, he finds it in Xian Hui's hands. Gangsu bows repeatedly, apologizing and begging Xian Hui to spare the kitten. But here's the twist. One of Xian Hui's henchmen, the guy with the flashy Hawaiian shirt, recognizes Gangsu. He's the one who introduced Gangsu to work at Xian Hui's establishment. Xian Hui, holding the kitten, looks absolutely disgusted. He says to Gangsu, if your friend is giving you food to eat, you should know how to behave. How dare you bring a cat into the store? Gangsu is terrified. He keeps bowing and apologizing, promising it won't happen again. But Xian Hui just smirks coldly. Then, right in front of everyone, he opens a window and throws the kitten off the building. Gangsu is horrified. He races downstairs, but when he gets to the spot, he can't find the cat's body. The mystery of what happened to the cat is not even the most important thing in Gangsu's mind right now. In that moment of shock, a memory flashes in Gangsu's mind. He realizes he's seen Xian Hui somewhere before. Later, Gangsu is eating with the Hawaiian shirt henchman from Xian Hui's crew. The henchman brags about Xian Hui's ruthlessness. My boss is not someone you want to mess with. The other day, someone said the wrong thing in front of him, and he ended up with a knife to his hand. Then he lowers his voice and shares something even more disturbing. Have you noticed the girls my boss has been with? They all have something off about them. There was that TV announcer who committed suicide recently. People are saying she used to be Xian Hui's girlfriend, and now he's got his eye on someone new. Gangsu is instantly on alert. He can't sit back and do nothing. Gangsu goes to see his sister, Yu Zhong. After a few polite questions, Gangsu gets straight to the point. Xian Hui is involved in organized crime. He's dangerous. You need to stay away from him. But Yu Zhong is calm. Too calm. I know he's connected to organized crime, she says, but nothing is going on between us. Don't worry. But here's the problem. Yu Zhong is too trusting. She doesn't like to suspect people, and that's what makes her vulnerable to the tragedy that's coming. Soon after, Yu Zhong gets another invitation for drinks from Xian Hui, this time with a colleague. Yu Zhong and her colleague are having drinks with Xian Hui, but the colleague gets an urgent phone call and has to leave, leaving Yu Zhong alone with Xian Hui. Under the influence of alcohol, Yu Zhong spills her guts. My husband is a doctor. He never drinks, and we don't have anything in common. Life is so boring. Xian Hui jumps at the opportunity to manipulate her. I understand that feeling, he says, feigning empathy. Then he orders another glass of wine and offers it to her. With just that one glass, everything crosses the line. When Yu Zhong wakes up, the damage is done. She frantically gets dressed and sees that her phone is flooded with missed calls from her husband. When she gets home, Yu Zhong is consumed with regret and wants to cry her eyes out. Looking at her young daughter, she's filled with unspeakable remorse and guilt. But she doesn't have time to wallow in self-pity, because Xian Hui calls her immediately. Yu Zhong tries to remind Xian Hui, I'm a married woman, but Xian Hui completely ignores her. Even though Yu Zhong wants to cut ties, he keeps texting her relentlessly, day and night, at any time and in any situation. Unable to take it anymore, Yu Zhong takes the initiative and arranges to meet Xian Hui at a cafe to end things once and for all. But Xian Hui arrives looking arrogant and flamboyant, driving a fancy car, bringing flowers, and making it seem like he's on a date. Yu Zhong starts by saying that everything between them should end here. She explains that after drinking the wine that night, she completely lost consciousness and doesn't remember anything. She didn't consent or initiate anything. But Xianhui doesn't give her a chance to end it. He shamelessly twists the truth, claiming that Yu Zhong was the one who expressed her feelings first. He says that because she showed him she wanted it, he went along with her to the hotel. "It's all because of you," he says. "You think you can just stop whenever you want?" Then Xianhui drops a chilling line that makes Yu Zhong's face go pale. "Those who dare to turn their backs on me never have a good ending." Hearing this, Yu Zhong trembles with fear, and she doesn't dare mention breaking up again. That night, Xianhui welcomes an old friend named Dae Yang, who has just returned after running from debt for 3 years. Xianhui suggests, instead of wandering around, "Why don't you work with me?" But Dae Yang asks bluntly, "Have you been involved with drugs in the last 3 years?" Xianhui immediately denies it. "There are plenty of ways to make money. I'd be crazy to get involved with drugs." Dae Yang just smirks mysteriously and says, "There's a new drug that's becoming popular in North Korea called pink powder. The ingredients are unknown, and it's not officially listed as a banned substance, which means that the police won't be looking for it for the next 2 to 3 years. This is a golden opportunity to make money. Just work hard for 1 or 2 years and you'll become rich." Xianhui's eyes light up with greed. Although he remains calm on the outside, he's tempted. The scene shifts to Yu Zhong, who is getting ready to go home from work. She gets a call from Xianhui. He orders her to come to the nightclub that his company owns to entertain clients, because he holds evidence that she can't resist. Yu Zhong grits her teeth and does what Xianhui tells her to do. She puts on a fake smile and tries to act normal as she enters Xianhui's nightclub. A famous news anchor, now forced to entertain clients. Her heart is breaking, but she has to put on a brave face. Then, a hostess intentionally brings up the fact that Yu Zhong and her husband participated in a reality TV show about marriage. Yu Zhong can only force a smile and can't say a word. Xianhui glares coldly at the hostess and immediately kicks her out of the private room. He does not like to be reminded of Yu Zhong's other life. The next day, he crosses another line. He deliberately sends her a selfie of himself at the hospital where Yu Zhong's husband works. Yu Zhong immediately calls Xianhui to confront him, but he acts completely nonchalant. "I just came to see your husband. I didn't say anything about our relationship." This sends Yu Zhong into a fury, but she doesn't know that Xianhui drugged her drink that night, causing them to sleep together. Everything was part of his plan. Meanwhile, Gang Soo is walking past a flower shop and suddenly remembers his mother. When she was alive, she loved flowers, but because of their financial struggles, she could only look at them from afar. Now, Gang Soo buys a bouquet and takes it to the riverbank to commemorate his mother. He regrets not understanding his mother's hardships when he was younger and always asking her for pocket money. Hearing about his mother's tragic death was a pain that never fully went away. In that moment of reflection, Gang Soo feels like his mother is still beside him, gently comforting him as she used to. In contrast, Yu Zhong's mood is getting heavier and heavier. During a family gathering with her husband, Xianhui suddenly appears, intentionally choosing that moment to ask Yu Zhong to sign something. When the family chases him away, he loudly asks Yu Zhong, "Don't you recognize me?" The next second, Yu Zhong wakes up. It was just a nightmare, but it's also a wake-up call. If she continues to mess with Xianhui, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out. Then, she'll lose everything, her family, her career. Yu Zhong texts Xianhui, begging him to let her go, saying that she doesn't want to make more mistakes. Xianhui quickly replies, but instead of agreeing to break up, he says he'll give her more time. The next day, Xianhui meets with a gangster named Yang Ho. Yang Ho asks if he can get his hands on pink powder, a rare and banned substance, and smuggle it to Japan to sell. Yang Ho is skeptical. Pink powder is hard to get. Either the North Koreans are very suspicious and only trade with people they know, or the supply is extremely unstable. But Xianhui confidently claims that he has a stable supply. Hearing him say that, Yang Ho agrees to cooperate, but he demands to see a sample first. Xianhui signals to the lieutenant to take the sample from the safe, but only to show, not to touch. The lieutenant, mustache guy, is in deep trouble. He and some of the gang members have poured all their money into the stock market. But the company they invested in has suddenly vanished without a trace. They've been completely scammed. The lead gang member asks when he's going to sell off the shares, and the lieutenant lies, saying that the market is still good. He tells him to wait a little longer, but it's all a deception. At the same time, Yu Zhong receives a loving but totally inappropriate text message from Xianhui. She immediately calls him, but he purposely doesn't answer. Only when he thinks the timing is right does he pick up the call. Yu Zhong angrily confronts him. "Why did you take those pictures when I was sleeping?" Xianhui makes excuses. "If you don't believe me, come see them for yourself." The location is a hotel. Even though Yu Zhong doesn't want to have any further contact with him, she's forced to go because he has evidence against her. When she mentions that taking pictures secretly is illegal, Xianhui immediately threatens to send the pictures to the TV station and the church she belongs to. She'll be completely ruined, and he'll only serve a few years in prison. He doesn't stop there. Sian Hui suddenly gets agitated and yells, "I did it because I love you so much." As he says this, he grabs a piece of glass and holds it to his throat, threatening to hurt himself. Yu Zhong panics and tries to calm him down. And once again, she's completely controlled by Sian Hui, and the two of them get caught up in the wrong physical relationship. After it's over, Sian Hui makes sure to take more pictures of them. As soon as she gets home, Yu Zhong bursts into tears, regretting not listening to her younger brother. The next day, when she goes to work, her boss unexpectedly calls Yu Zhong in to talk, criticizing her for accepting a cryptocurrency advertisement. Yu Zhong is shocked. She doesn't understand. Only when she sees a picture of herself does she realize that this is Sian Hui's doing. She immediately contacts the person in charge of the cryptocurrency advertisement and demands that they remove the advertisement with her face. But they don't listen to her and call Sian Hui to confirm. Then Sian Hui texts Yu Zhong, saying, "It's just a picture. What does it matter if I use it? If you don't agree, I have a lot more pictures." This threat leaves Yu Zhong feeling helpless. In another turn, while Gang Su is training, he suddenly remembers that night in the dark room. When Gang Su held the knife to the old man, he hesitated for a long time, but eventually he didn't kill him. After all, even if he killed him, Gang Su's mother wouldn't come back to life. He decides to spare him, but unexpectedly, while Gang Su is away, the old man breaks free from his chains. He tries to escape but still wants to exact revenge and goes to attack Gang Su while he's sleeping. He raises a brick to strike, but when he brings it down, he finds that the bed is empty. Turns out that this was all a test for the old man. Unfortunately, the old man didn't pass this time. Gang Su doesn't hold back and finally ends the rapist's life. Back in the present, Gang Su suddenly gets a call from his sister. But when he answers, there's silence on the other end. Gang Su anxiously asks if something's wrong, but she makes up an excuse and quickly hangs up. That is never good. He has a bad feeling. Something is definitely not right. The next day, Yu Zhong meets with Sian Hui again. She asks him what he wants him to let her go. Sian Hui smirks coldly, demanding that Yu Zhong divorce her husband. If she doesn't, he'll take the pictures directly to her husband. Plus, before Yu Zhong divorces, they have to meet at least once a week. Yu Zhong is torn apart, but she has no choice but to agree. She is in desperate need of help and doesn't know how to get out of this situation. That night, Gang Su can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. He calls his best friend, the Hawaiian shirt guy, and asks him to investigate who his boss has been pursuing recently. Early the next morning, Yang Ho calls Sian Hui, saying that he's tired of bars and nightclubs and wants to try something different today. Sian Hui suddenly remembers Yu Zhong, whom he has leverage over, and calls her, demanding that she meet him. Sian Hui says that a car will pick her up. The person who comes to pick up Yu Zhong is none other than the Hawaiian shirt guy. Too bad the Hawaiian shirt guy doesn't know that the famous host he admires is his best friend's sister. And just like that, Yu Zhong is taken to some property. Yu Zhong refuses to cooperate, so Sian Hui threatens to expose her secrets to the TV station and her husband's family. With no other choice, Yu Zhong has to temporarily obey. At the same time, the Hawaiian shirt guy calls Gang Su, complaining that he invested in stocks based on the lieutenant's advice and lost all of his and his wife's savings. Gang Su jokes that his boss should compensate him, but the Hawaiian shirt guy angrily retorts that his boss only cares about partying with his friends and doesn't care about the lives of his underlings. Suddenly, the Hawaiian shirt guy remembers that Gang Su asked him to investigate, and he tells him that the person entertaining Sian Hui tonight is the celebrity, Yu Zhong. A bolt of lightning strikes Gang Su. He immediately drives over there. Unfortunately, when Gang Su arrives, Yu Zhong has already been dragged into bed by Sian Hui. Worse yet, there's another person in the room, his partner, Yang Ho. By the time Gang Su arrives, it's too late. The Hawaiian shirt guy says that Yu Zhong just left the building. Gang Su quickly gets into his car and chases after her. In the car, the two siblings sit in silence. But the next day, when Sian Hui is out partying, he suddenly receives an urgent call from his subordinate. All the money in the company's safe and the pink powder have been stolen. Sian Hui explodes, yelling at the lieutenant, "Why did you leave 10 billion won in cash in the safe?" The Hawaiian shirt guy quickly explains that because it's hard to withdraw cash in South Korea, the lieutenant asked him to keep the money in the safe temporarily. Sian Hui is so enraged, he's practically losing his mind. He demands to see the security footage. When he zooms in, he's shocked to see that the person who stole the money is the young kitchen worker, the same guy he yelled at and threw the cat at the day before. Talk about karma. Sian Hui immediately orders the Hawaiian shirt guy to call the kitchen worker, but Gang Su's phone has been off for a long time. Then, the head chef is called to the office, and he tremblingly explains that Gang Su suddenly asked for a day off this morning. Furious that everything stems from the Hawaiian shirt guy, Sian Hui loses his temper and kicks him to the ground, stomping on him. For Sian Hui, losing the money isn't a big deal. The most important thing is the bag of pink powder. Soon after, the real owner of the shipment arrives. Madame Chu only says one sentence, causing Xianhui's men to retreat immediately. She looks at Xianhui with disdain and asks, "You look like an idiot. You're a dealer who can't even keep your product safe." With that, the president pulls out a silenced gun from her pocket and points it straight at Xianhui's forehead. His friend, De Yang, immediately steps forward to explain, but before he can finish his sentence, the madam pulls the trigger. The gunshot rings out coldly, and the friend falls into a pool of blood. That sight terrifies Xianhui. Madame Chu coldly warns, "You have 7 days to find the pink powder, or your death will be more miserable than his." At this time, the bag is in Gang Su's hands, and he seems to have a plan of his own. In another scene, Yang Ho finally answers Xianhui's call, but instead of helping, he's already fled to Japan, leaving the mess for Xianhui to clean up. Xianhui is furious, but there's nothing he can do. Then, Gang Su receives a message from Xianhui. "If you want to save your friend, call me," accompanied by a picture of the Hawaiian shirt guy being held captive. Without hesitation, Gang Su calls back. Xianhui, to keep Gang Su in check, says that the money is no longer important. He just wants the red bag back. If Gang Su hands it over, he'll let the Hawaiian shirt guy leave safely. The two quickly arrange to meet in person at midnight. At night, Xianhui and his crew arrive early. A masked person suddenly appears in front of them, but Xianhui has already set up an ambush nearby. As soon as he gets the product back, he'll kill both Gang Su and the Hawaiian shirt guy immediately. But just then, one of his men steps on something, making a noise that startles the masked person. Immediately, the ambush team rushes out. The masked person throws the bag of pink powder into the air and turns to run, luring most of the henchmen away. At this point, only 3 people remain. Suddenly, a car rushes out of the darkness, and the person who gets out is none other than Gang Su. It turns out that the masked person earlier was just someone he hired to create a diversion. While Xianhui is busy dealing with his captured henchmen, the lieutenant, Mustache, turns on him and knocks him out. Then he, along with Gang Su and the Hawaiian shirt guy, ties Xianhui up and stuffs him in the trunk of a car. Turns out that the 3 of them had planned everything. Gang Su used the money from the safe to share with the Hawaiian shirt guy and the lieutenant in exchange for their betrayal of Xianhui. Being a boss like Xianhui was a failure. He only knew how to eat and drink alone and never shared with his subordinates. To make it look real, Gang Su even purposely punched the lieutenant and the henchman who arrived later. Then he sped away as if nothing had happened. A few days later, Gang Su invites his sister, Yu Zhong, for a drive. He drives her to a remote mountain area. The two walk quite a distance, crossing a long path before reaching a discreet house deep in the forest. Gang Su uses a key to open the door to a secret room. Yu Zhong starts to feel uneasy and asks, "What is this place?" Gang Su gently replies, "This is a place to help people forget painful memories. The world out there has people like you, kind and pure, but it also has people like Xianhui, filthy and evil, sometimes even worse than demons. And I think that only by eliminating those people with evil hearts can the world truly be at peace." With that, he takes his sister to another room, where Xianhui has been imprisoned for several days. Seeing Gang Su and Yu Zhong together, Xianhui starts to curse wildly. Gang Su picks up a steel bar from the wall and slams it hard against Xianhui's body. The heavy blows echo in the closed space, and Xianhui's screams reverberate throughout the room. Yu Zhong witnesses the whole scene, her eyes filled with terror, but she doesn't say a word to stop him. Then, Gang Su hands the steel bar to his sister. Yu Zhong cries as she swings. Finally, Xianhui begs for his life, pleading with Yu Zhong to spare him. But he secretly picks up a piece of broken glass to cut through his chains. The next second, Xianhui suddenly lunges forward, using the glass to restrain Yu Zhong. He demands that Gang Su hand over the key to unlock his chains. Gang Su has no choice but to hand it over. But when Xianhui bends down to unlock the chains, Gang Su presses a light switch, and electricity instantly runs through Xianhui's body, causing him to writhe and fall to the ground. It was all part of Gang Su's plan. Gang Su wants to tell Yu Zhong that evil people will never change. Only by eradicating them can we truly protect ourselves and those we love. This time, even if Xianhui kneels on the ground and begs, Yu Zhong is no longer soft-hearted. She personally ends him. Sometime later, Yu Zhong's life returns to peace, but Gang Su has set his sights on the next target, Yang Ho, the guy who harassed his sister. And today is the day he must die. Thanks for watching.